What is going on out there, esports world, and welcome once again to BossFightTV's The Reload. This is episode number 49, where we will be covering the entire world of esports from October 31st to November 5th. As always, my name is Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, aka Mohawk Mike, and this week's sweater of choice is negative Freddy Krueger, because it's technically just black and white. So,
all right, I feel it. I was going to say, like, monochrome, like, Where's Waldo?
Blend in with your environment.
All right, we want to welcome you guys to our first November show at No Shave November, which I am participating, and it looks like Mike is not participating.
Not on my face.
Probably
in other places.
On your mohawk.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Mike. Anyways, we have a lot of stuff to go over this week. So we will try to go fairly quickly, not really like meander on a lot of things and, you know, draw it out or whatever. So first things first, one of the biggest events that we had this weekend was the MLG Fall Championship event, which was in Dallas, Texas, where we had all sorts of crazy stuff like fighting games, StarCraft 2, League of Legends, and Mike, guess what else they had? It's a game that comes out, like, I don't know, pretty soon.
Farm Simulator 2013.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. I knew it. They got my emails.
Halo 4, which
Halo
we've been talking
4.
to. We've been talking about it for a while, so, yeah. I mean, it's probably not a surprise. Yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at how everybody did. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start with StarCraft 2. Let's bring up the results. First place, we have Life taking out Lenok, which sits at the number 2 place, and Bomber and Flash share 3rd/4th place. So congratulations to all of those players. Let's move on to League of Legends. Big game that's been growing for a while. We have Azubu Blaze, 1st place, Najin Sword, 2nd place. The finals, actually, was a 4-1 in favor of Azubu Blaze, who came out of the losers bracket, so awesome stuff there. And it was really cool to see Najin Sword come out. Then we have CLG EU taking the 3rd place spot. Let's move on to fighting games. We have Tekken Tag Tournament 2. We have Kin 11 at 1st place, Suryoko at 2nd. And we have Atlantikin 3rd place. Now, here's the thing. Is Atlantikin, is that Bananakin? Do you think?
I don't think so.
You know, they think they're different?
They're different.
All right. I just wanted to say. Anyways, whatever.
I was on a different time frame than you, but...
Anyways,
I didn't see it.
Mortal Kombat 9. Let's move on. We have Rio, which is kind of not a surprise there, of course. We have Maxter, 2nd place, and Pig of the Hut, which is also a name that we see up at the top multiple times. Very good players in Mortal Kombat 9, so congratulations to those guys. And here are your Halo 4 results. The very first Halo 4 tournament ever. Surprisingly enough, we have Warriors taking the number 1 spot, which Warriors actually won. I want to say it was Columbus this year, if I'm not mistaken, which was the last Halo Reach event. Then we have Ambush, which has been I want to say, not necessarily up-and-coming team. They've placed pretty consistently in the top 25 for as long as I can remember. A lot of good guys on that team, so it's very cool to see them at number 2. And then we have Status Quo, which is kind of a crowd favorite at MLG and the 3rd place spot. And notice, there is no Instinct up there. No Instinct. So...
Matter of fact, there was kind of a controversy when they played the
Fun Police, who took a game off them, which I actually didn't go and see where they placed. But congratulations, Fun Police. I'm sure that there was a lot of people talking about you guys on Twitter.
I do also want to real quick give a shout out to Optic, who you guys may know from Call of Duty, actually placed top 10.
Oh, yeah.
So
indeed.
Coming
really
out
cool.
to support another game that isn't necessarily.
It's kind of like when Gears of War dropped. Some Gears of War pro teams came in and played some Halo. Yeah, indeed. So that actually wraps up all of the Major League Gaming news that we have. And Mike's actually going to take it over. We're going to talk a little bit about the ESWC.
Yes, because while we had Major League Gaming going on here in North America, basically ESWC, which I guess you could kind of call maybe the MLG of Europe or
something like
the
that.
Other hemisphere,
I guess.
Was going on in Paris, France, which of course is a different time frame than what is here.
We were all over the place this weekend.
Yeah, I've got 4 pages of notes, but I digress. Let's go ahead first and let's get into results for StarCraft 2. As first place, we have Mana. Second place, we have 4GG. And third place, we have Stefano. But a quick side note, as it appears that actually there's a lot about the event. I'll try and keep it short, but allegedly on main stage, Stefano, or at least the French players, Stefano, Neo Angel, and Minimath, all were quote-unquote giving advantages during the tournament, one of which being Stefano being able to hear the casters inside of the soundproof booth, but also when
quote-unquote soundproof
booth, but then also allegedly when Neo Angel played Stefano, Neo Angel kind of threw the game, had some weird tactics that a lot of people were questioning, but regardless from that, good stuff to Mana, who took first place. Of course, a lot of focus was more on on MLG StarCraft 2 competition, but still a very highly contested tournament. As we move now on to Dota 2 results, in first place we have Navi, second place we have Dignitas, and in third place we have Shiba Gaming. Moving on now to the realm of first-person shooters. Shoot Mania Storm, who I would say, honestly, that this was probably the biggest tournament to date for the title. First place, we have Colwyn, which stands for See You On Land Warping Nudgers, one of my favorite teams. Second place, we have Eclipsia. And third place, we have Gamers League. Moving on now to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And as you remember, ESWC is not only famous for supporting the Counter-Strike titles over the years, but also for their female Counter-Strike tournament, which we'll go into that first. We see here at first place, Unbited. Second place, Alternate, and third place, Reason Gaming. I have to say that not only was this the best tournament to date for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but the women's finals were so crazy. All of the matches, well, Unbited actually came behind in 2 overtime games, and every game was actually highly contested, as Unbited now, the USA representatives, were able to collect their 5th ESWC trophy, 3 previously as SK Gaming, and now 2 as Abided.
Awesome.
But the finals for the female CSGO was so crazy that the male finals never even seen the main stage. They actually had to play their games inside of the regular tournament areas.
That's funny.
Which now
that's hilarious.
We will go ahead now and get into results for the male
Girl power
Counter-Strike Global Offensive Finals. In first place, we have Ninjas in Pajamas back in full force. I hate to use the term steamroll, but they rolled over the competition with relative ease. Second place goes to Very Games, and third place goes to, again, USA. Area 51 representing, doing very good. But again, as ESWC this year was kind of, I don't want to say full of controversy, another headline throughout the game was Pro Gaming TD's team, who came all the way out from Brazil, actually boot camped in Amsterdam 3 months previous to this tournament. On their flight over to Paris, lost their equipment, so had to kind of stumble along and reset their stuff up. Allegedly, the administrative staff from ESWC did not allow them time to practice, did not allow them time to change settings before the match. So going into the game actually against Area 51, they were not able to set their sensitivity, not able to change any of their game settings, and played with no sound and lost 16-0. So
crazy.
While the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Finals were great to see early on in the group stages, people are still kind of talking about it. But as one quote-unquote famous StarCraft or famous Counter-Strike player said, it's the Brazilians. They always find a way to lose and make up excuses. I will not reveal who that player is, but I thought that was pretty interesting. And last but not least, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 going on at ESWC. First place, we have Knee. Second place, we have Nin. And third place, we have Starscream. That is not the only fighting game action that happened out of Paris, France this weekend, as the Street Fighter 25th anniversary took place in Europe. Let's go ahead and move into Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition versus 2012 results. First place, we have CG Problem X. Second place goes Alone. And third place goes to Andres, as first and second place both respectively qualify for the finals happening in December. Moving now into Street Fighter Cross Tekken. First place goes to Alone, second place goes to Fuzzy, and third place goes to Tufada, with first and second place getting qualifications for the finals happening in December. Next, we have Street Fighter Third Strike. Gunfight qualifies in first place. Second place goes to Zach Bennett, and third place goes to Nindo. Last but not least, Street Fighter 2 HD Turbo. First place goes to Arrow Rockman. Second place goes to Ken Pachi, and third place goes to Fuzzy. But all of you fans of fighting games know that that was not the only major tournament that was happening this week, as we also seen Youmacon, which is a fairly well-known anime convention, actually stepped up their competitive fighting game tournament this year, actually bringing out Jabali from CEO as well as a lot of other players. So let's go ahead and move into results for that. As first, we have Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012. I almost stumbled up that time. First place, we have Justin Wong. Second place, we have Priyal Balrog. And third place, we have Ricky Ortiz. Moving now into Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the most hype series of the entire tournament, as Yipes takes first place over PR Balrog, and third place goes to the current EVO champion, Filipino champ, going in third. Next, we have Tekken Tag Tournament 2. First place goes to Fighting GM. Second place goes to Matteo. And third place, you've heard us talk about it before, Mike Slucher, a.k.a. Slooch from the Cincinnati area. Shout out! I digress now. As King of Fighters 13, we move into results. First place goes to Ronald. Second place goes to Romance. And third place goes to Justin Wong. Next, Persona 4 Arena. First place, Ronald. Second place, Coma. And third place, Axis. Now, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, obviously the crowd favorite with that 2013 patch. First place goes to Justin Wong. Second place, Alex Valle, who's been actually picking up a lot of Street Fighter Cross Tekken wins here as of late. And finally, third place goes to Ricky Ortiz. And before I run out of saliva in my mouth, I'm going to kick it over to Josh.
All right, I'm going to pick it up right at Super Turbo, which happens to be Mr. Alex Valle's game of choice. Or should I say, at least the game that he performs the most. Yes, indeed. So, first place, Alex Valle. Second place, we have Justin Wong with PR Balrog bringing up the rear in third place. Then we have Street Fighter Third Strike. We have Justin Wong taking first place, Ricky Ortiz second, and Alex Valle third place. Also going to see those guys up there. Moving on to Virtua Fighter 5, we have Izuna Otashi taking the first place, Shin Ryujin second place, and Reloaded taking third. Moving on to Dead or Alive 5, Shin Ryujin again, Happy Medicine at number 2, and Alchemist Gunner taking the third place spot there. Let's move on to Soul Calibur 5. Mateo taking first place. Hawkeye second. Mystic Bill third. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Mike Slucher, Mr. Sloosh, I think he got fifth or sixth or something like that.
He was up there.
He was up there. Yeah. Then we have Skullgirls, good old Skullgirls. Elda Talada taking first place. Justin Wong second. And Alex McStrife third place. I like that name. I dig it. I dig it, for sure, for sure. So, moving on from fighting games, we actually are going to finish off with some StarCraft 2 news, some of our good go-to news pieces here. First things first, we have the GSL. Code S is back into the swing of things. Instead of going over every single group, how every single person did, I'm going to give you the top 2 from each group because these guys are the ones that are going to continue on to the round of 16. So here we go. In Group A, we have Parting and Polt taking first and second. Group B, we have Symbol and Hack. Group C, Curious and Soul Key. Group D, we have Yoda and Hun. So awesome job all the way around to those guys. And last but not least, we have the Evil Geniuses Masters Cup. We are in week number 8. Let's take a look at how the teams did there. Now, this week is actually smaller than last week. First off, we have Team Slayers, which is disbanded. And then also, I'm assuming because a lot of teams were on the road for Major League Gaming, there weren't a lot of matches that were reported or played. So there's only 3 matches that happened. So let's take a look at what we got here. We have Acer taking out Mouse Sports 4-0. Fnatic 3-2 over Dignitas. And Team Liquid taking out Quanic 3-1. So that wraps up the esports news, or at least should I say the tournament news that we have this week. Mike actually has some miscellaneous news items to wrap up the show with.
I do. First and foremost, one of the leagues that we actually haven't talked about in this episode, even though they still have a lot of stuff going on, the Electronic Sports League, also known as ESL, has made an announcement that they will bring back Dota 2, at least for the time being. They're going to have a series of show matches between Absolute Legends and Meet Your Makers to try and delve up just kind of the interest, because they haven't done Dota in a while. We're sitting in
Toes
Dota,
of
we're
the
playing
Ancients.
on the Dota. You
Toes
remember
of
that song?
the Ancients.
Right.
Is that
Defense
what
of the
Tota
Ancients?
sound? Tota?
Dota?
Toe. With the T. It's Toes of the Ancients.
Toes of the... Okay. There's a lot of kicking in that game.
I'm sorry.
So ESL is bringing back, or at least attempting to bring back, Dota 2 on their league official series. And the next piece of news, as you know, with ESWC, a lot of old teams, or at least the teams that didn't compete in the Electronic Sport World Cup, are jealous that they missed out on the action. So probably the biggest piece of news is that Navi will be switching their Counter-Strike 1.6 team officially.
They're going to try it
yes,
out.
switching over to Counter-Strike Global
They're like,
Offensive.
I guess.
And like, well, I guess we'll play it if everybody else is gonna play it.
Who else are they gonna play?
You're like that kid that shows up to the park with a basketball, and everybody's got a baseball and mittens on to catch baseballs, hitting them out in the field. I don't know. I didn't play sports as a kid.
A mitten.
Don't they wear mittens like glove, like mitten, baseball
It's
mitten?
just a baseball glove. I guess you could call it a mitt. It's not a mitten.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
I just lost a bunch of street cred.
Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show on that. We want to thank you guys for watching Boss Fight TV as always. My name is Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike, as always thanking you for supporting esports, whatever capacity you do, as well as thank you for considering. Catch it. You catch it. Yeah, you catch it in your mitt.